Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the 5 major reasons people pass their board exams on their first try with Medical Coding Academy. But at the same time, this video is for the person needing more information regarding the course. So stay tuned, because this one should be a fun one. The number one reason people pass their exams on the first try is most definitely our tabbing system. We believe very much in working smarter, not harder. So upon registering for the course, you're going to be receiving a package in the mail from Medical Coding Academy, and you're going to receive our very own legendary tabbing system. This is the Medical Coding Academy tabbing system. I'm so happy I'm able to show it. So I actually got one from marketing. But they are really neat. This is the instructional page that helps you along and guides you along on how to place the tabs. You can see here that there's an illustration where the tabs, you'll have tabs going across the top of the book and down the side. Down here is a picture of one of the tabs, and it gives you an illustration of how they work and how you write on them. When you get past the instructional page, it's really neat because now you see everything come to life. So here is the template for the CPT coding manual. So what you would do is you would handwrite what you see these titles into the colorful portion of your sticky tabs, and once you're done transferring all the labels into your tabs by handwriting them, then you're able to now paste them onto whatever pages the template designates. So it's really awesome. You can see here that the labels are very, very bright and colorful, again, we totally believe in making medical coding medical coding come to life for you. Once you get past the CPT template here, you've got a backside to it. So here's the backside, and this is, again, more tabs that go onto the CPT coding manual because, you can never have enough tabs. Actually, you can, but we make it very organized, but definitely simple at the same time. So you don't want to overload it either. You can see the letters are at the very bottom. Each book will need a set of letters, and that's to alphabetize your alphabetical indexes in your CPT, your ICD-10-CM, and your HCPCS. And again, at the top, you will find an example of how the tabs are placed, so where you can kind of see or preview the end product. Behind that, we've got another template, and that one covers the ICD-10-CM coding manual. And you can see the tabs there placed across the top, as well as the alphabet down on the side that will need to be placed into your alphabetical indexes. And then if you turn the page back behind it, you've got the additional tabs that go along with the ICD-10-CM coding manual. These are turned to its backside. They have numbers on this side. We turn it this way because sometimes the number copies onto the template when it's so hot in the mail. Right now it's summer. So you'll place these tabs here as well onto your books, as well as the numbers. And there is a numbers and letters that goes with the ICD-10 book, and the instructional page illustrates all that, where they all go. The ICD-10-CM coding template, it's really neat because there's many different publishers for the ICD-10 and the HCPCS. So in yellow, we have the publisher for the AAPC, what pages they all get placed on. The orange one here in the middle is for, I believe, Carol Buck coding manual, and then the bottom one here in the green is the AHEMA. So it tells you, which page of which book to place the tabs on. It's really fun. I don't know how to make that come across on a video, but it's really fun to do. And I believe very much in you all tabbing your books because it really makes the students learn their books and get to know where things are in their books. So it's a really neat and fun exercise. Behind that, we have, then the HCPCS manual. So this is the template for the HCPCS manual. Once again, you'll transfer everything that you see label-wise onto your tabs, place them on your books, and here at the bottom is the alphabetical set that, as promised, you get with every single book. So once you tab all these books, the end products are amazing. I hope you can see this okay. I'm not sure what it looks like on this camera, but I'm trying to show this off to you. And you may be laughing, I'm laughing, but seriously, that's what students are calling it, legendary. It alone has been a complete game changer for many testers out there. I totally eat it up. That you can always tell a Medical Coding Academy student when you walk into the exam because of the tabbing system. I actually came up, with the tabbing system when I was, I think, 19 years old. And surprisingly, it's been making the difference for coders everywhere since. It's actually quite contagious too, because coders learn it and they learn the tabbing system, and then they just can't live without it. Not only does it make your books look absolutely strikingly beautiful, but some otherwise pretty intimidating set of books, all of a sudden, they become highly organized, and folks, because of how the books are organized, it's going to be what makes you super fast on the exam, and time will be of the essence because you've got 5 hours and 40 minutes. The same books that you take the course with will be the same books that you take the exam with. It's really a neat thing because tons of coders that have already taken the course and already passed the exam, they're calling us back and asking us to mail them the tabbing system templates for their books that they're going to be receiving with their new workplaces in 2017. So a little tip there, marketing is actually working really hard right now on a store coming to you in the very near future in 2017, so they can be, they want to have them ready so they can be ready to go upon your request. So, as a matter of fact, I also heard from a little birdie that they're going to be sending some pretty neat gifts with the packages that are received in the 2017 registrations coming in the new year. So some pretty neat and exciting stuff indeed. So please be on the lookout for that 2017 schedule that should be coming out somewhere in the month of October. So the number 2 reason people pass their board exams is definitely due to the pre-work that you receive upon registering for the course. Now, you won't, really, the way I should state it is, the pre-work basically consists of handwriting a lot of information that we have shipped to you into your 3 books, here and there and everywhere, all throughout your 3 books on whatever pages that we designate. It's nothing difficult to complete, but it is very time consuming. So you definitely want to register in such a fashion that you'll get the work and have time to complete it before the first day of class. So while you're handwriting all this information into your books, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense to you, but here's the deal, write it anyway, because when we arrive to your city, we're going to be breaking all that information down to you, and all of a sudden it's going to become extremely valuable to you, and you're going to be so happy you've done all that work, because once it becomes valuable, the thing is, our students, when they take board exams, if they happen to get confused or, they kind of need a little bit more guidance, it's right there in their books, and it's honestly there for backup. So it's a lot of information, so get ready for your little wrist to hurt, but it'll be worth it. The fact of the matter is, we can pull off a highly successful curriculum in 27 hours because you did the majority of the time-consuming work before we ever arrived to your city. Medical Coding Academy we're real big about managing your time. So we have you basically complete the pre-work ahead of time. That way we can focus and concentrate on the 27 hours that we have in front of you is spent more so on breaking down the material and learning the material. All right, so the number 3 reason is going to be basically the amount of coding guideline knowledge that you will have learned is going to be pretty unsurpassed from the comments that we've received. So, we wrote the curriculum in such a way that we basically cut out all the fluff and got really strict about making sure that everything that's coming out of my mouth or Mr. Jeria's mouth is highly sought after education. that you're going to need and probably have been seeking and couldn't really make heads or tails. So it's going to be the information responsible for taking you from baby coder to master coder in a 3-day time frame. And while that might be hard for you to believe, it won't be once you're in the course. And we'll talk about that. But this class, I want you to be informed that it was designed for people who are struggling to pass the exam right now, but it was written with the person in mind that had no background, no prior knowledge. But our basics portion is going to be so drilled down. I mean, it has to be, because it's the only way that you're going to be able to keep up with us for the rest of the weekend. So once you get done with the basics portion of the course, we are now basically ready to throw you in with the wolves. But don't worry, because you are going to be able to keep up with me. And the reason you're going to be able to keep up with me is because I am going to be breaking it down into very, very simplistic words, simple terms. Tell it to me straight, Miss Ortega. Explain it to where I understand it. And that is why you are going to be able to keep up with me. Okay? So it is nothing to worry about or be nervous about or spend any of your precious time being nervous about. You will catch on to this course curriculum. And it depends on who your teacher is and do they have the ability to break down the information in simple terms, and that we do. So that's how I'm so confident that you will be able to keep up with us. All right, so we will be taking you step by step, guideline by guideline, from subject to subject, E&M to anesthesia, radiology, pathology, laboratory, medicine, HCPCS, ICD-10-CM, all the way into surgery. So, and by the way, that brings about a very, very important point that I've been wanting to make. We're going to teach you in under 10 minutes how to code. And that's the easy part about coding. Anyone can learn to code as far as I'm concerned. I've never seen anybody not be able to. But this isn't where the skill set is demonstrated. And so for this reason, the National Board Exam is not going to be testing you on can you code. It's going to be testing you on, once you compile all your codes, can you sequence them on a claim form in such a way that you'll receive for your provider maximum reimbursement? And that's what we call medical coding guidelines. That's the hard stuff, and we're going to bring that home for you. So this truly is, where the medical coder skill set comes in, and it takes your medical coding to a whole new other level. The same guidelines that you're going to be tested on, during your exam will be the same guidelines that you're going to need to make it as a successful coder in the industry. So I want to clarify that you won't know everything there is about medical coding, but you'll learn enough to prove on a national board exam that you have mastered the coding guidelines. And you certainly will have learned enough on how to be able to figure out what you don't already know. And that is key. Because knowing how to figure out what you don't know, it's going to be just like, any other job that you've had in your life. You were hired on the first day and you had to figure out what you didn't know. But there are some amazing tools I gave in the 3-day course that gives you the capability to figure out what you don't already know for your real world. Now, the number 4 reason our students pass on the first try, my God, is our beat the clock strategy. When I talk, and you don't know this because you don't do what I do and take calls all day like I do, but the number 1 reason when I ask, the students on the phone that are crying and desperate, in desperation that they've taken the test over and over and over again without any success, I always ask, a few harmless, medical coding guideline questions, and I can figure out pretty quickly, in probably less than a minute or so, that they really don't have the guidelines mastered in most cases, and that's not their fault. That's not on them. In my opinion, students are a reflection of their teachers, and that's just a standard that I've always held myself to. So again, not to segment on that, but segue on that. Um, you know, Here comes my biggest question when I've got that caller on the phone that's been taking the test. I say, "Do you finish the exam?" And the answer I always get is, "No, ma'am. The instructor, or I should say the proctor, took up my Scantron, while I was barely on question number 80. So, it is the number one reason people fail their board exams is they can't beat the clock. You've got to go in armed with a plan of attack, folks. Because if you don't have a strategy, then what ends up happening is the board exam actually ends up attacking you instead of you attacking the exam. There are some very, very rare birds out there that don't need a beat the clock time strategy, but they're rare. It is not the majority. If it was the majority, I wouldn't be getting the calls and the inquiries that I get. And I want you all to know that, with our sessions that we do all across the nation, we have a 15-person capacity. And so probably the most important thing for you to do is to pre-register for the course. Please don't be putting us in a position where you show up at our door, in a given city, pleading that you've got your money and that you want in, because it's not as easy as you think. Either we didn't purchase a 16th or 17th chair, or it's not how our contract was written. So please, 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 the most important piece of getting going with the Academy is to definitely pre-register and reserve your chair. So let's see. You want to register on medicalcodingacademy.org. The best search engine to use to view our website apparently is Google Chrome, is what I'm being told. So click on the distance learning tab and then click on the big USA map, and then click on your location, whatever location that you wish to attend, and you can do the deposit there in that area. The remaining balance is paid at the door, so that does give you some time to kind of save up and be able to handle that upon the start of the class. So let's see. Upon registering for the course, you're also going to receive a confirmation email telling you the course location, the school supplies of which to bring, a few class rules, how lunch works, the discount code. This discount code is what I really want to bring up. Be sure and register for our course, prior to purchasing the exam, only because there is a student discount code that Medical Coding Academy does release to our students so that they don't have to pay full price for the exam. I believe it knocks it down from $350 to $290, so it's a pretty significant savings. We do tell our students that you want to sit for the exam anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, during, or actually upon completion of the course. Also, something I've been wanting to show you is that you do receive a curriculum binder during the 3-day course. This is a really neat tool to have because it's going to be something that you all can follow along with as we're teaching the course on all 3 days. It does go step by step and page by page, and it's something wonderful to go home with because it will include our study guide, our lecture notes, the practice questions. We do need you to complete these practice questions before sitting for the exam, so very, very important to get through the binder, the remaining of the binder that we weren't able to cover during the 3-day. That's called homework. So don't you love homework? The other thing I wanted to show you, and this is definitely the cherry on top. I surprise my students with this every Sunday night, and I guess it won't be a surprise now because I'm putting it on the internet, but this is the beautiful handy dandy certificate, completion of certificate that you'll receive. And we give it to you with a lot of honor, a lot of pride, and because you were able to get through a pretty tough 3 days as we threw lots and lots at you. So it's something that we want you to know too, that you receive one with every course that you complete with Medical Coding Academy. And once you start piling these up in your portfolio, it's extremely impressive to the prospective employers. So definitely want to show that off to you, and hopefully that excites you. See? Very proud of it. But at the same time, if I could just get your utmost attention, because I've got to say this. And by the way, step 5 was completing all the practice questions in the curriculum binder. I forgot to make that clear. But I've got to say this. It is when you follow all 5 of these steps that you pass your exam on the first try. It takes all 5. You can't skimp on any of them. You know, Medical Coding Academy, we make it extremely difficult for you to fail. So I want you to know that. You know, it's as far as I know, I think I've never heard of anyone else having as big as pass rate as Medical Coding Academy does, and it is due to a very, very systematic, written curriculum. And for those of you sending me messages, that Miss Ortega, aren't you tired? You're going to a different city, you're gone 5, home 2. I'm just worried that you're too tired. Pretty much, let me just tell you something. The bigger question is, how is my husband handling it? Because, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with y'all. By the way, I am a very playful teacher, so I have a lot of fun, in life. I try to anyway, and I definitely have fun in the course. So bear with me, but he's a pretty self-secured, unthreatened man. Thank goodness. So, it didn't take him too long to get over it. I'd say maybe 3 weeks, give or take. But he knows God has given me the talent to teach, the gift of teaching, I should say, and that's what I was called to do. But he's been very supportive, as God has asked him to be. So, but the students that are asking, are you sure you're going to have, that amazing energy that I hear you have, when you come to my city? I will. And maybe I didn't have that energy arriving to the airport and with the security, lines and the by the time you rent the car and then the bags and oh my goodness, you should see what your teacher looks like, a bag lady, if you will. But and so, maybe in that moment I was dragging. But when I take that stage and I begin to teach, the adrenaline, it just kicks in, and I just get into a trance, and I do it like I've never done it before, so all brand new. So I'm gonna be that teacher that you absolutely expect me to be. And so don't worry, because I've heard it time and time again that I actually exceed my students' expectations. All right, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch the videos; they are jam-packed with information. You will learn a ton of information before you ever even meet me just by watching these videos on our channel. Make sure you're subscribed because new ones are coming out all the time. And then you want to make sure you click on the Distance Learning tab of medicalcodingacademy.org website. Click on your city and get registered. But mostly I'll say, feel good that you took this first step, a step that's going to propel you into this blessed industry. And I've got other videos of that explain, why this industry is so blessed. But feel good that you've just capitalized on a pretty wide open very stable healthcare industry. Also, check out our reviews on Facebook. And as always, I am known in the industry as the teacher who's only ever a text or a call away. So if you need me, I'll be here. Thank you for your time.